Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Keeper, see kind of what's going on, of course. It's a request from my community members. Thank you so much for the ask, of course. Now we're going to take a look at some obvious stuff here today. Make sure you understand big picture, best practice, and that's the whole point of this channel, is to ensure that you learn how to become a better trader. So definitely take a look here at CryptoCache.tech. That's the website that I have, where you can become a community member. I have a trading academy and send out signals for every single trade that I take. So I hope you can learn, once again, a thing or two here today. And I look forward to getting to know you better there as well. Looking here at Keeper, here's the big picture. First of all, we're under both moving averages. It's been damaged ever since, of course, we heard the news for FTM. Top developer left. This is one of its projects. It's just kind of a, this, YFI, and a handful of others are getting damaged quite significantly. But there's potential for the price to recover here today as well. At least it looks like it's doing well, considering. And that's a lot of the fact of the matter, is that it's bouncing kind of off of a key level support, or not necessarily a key level support, but there's so much volume at this price point. I don't speculate the price is going to go much lower than where it's at, because there's been so much volume in the recent past at that point, and I think it's probably going to be more likely to increase than decrease at this exact time. But of course, we don't know that for sure, but it's kind of giving us the indication that there's going to be a lot of volume here, and that this could and potentially should be the bottom. So we'll just start with that, right? That should be the bottom, right around 334. Okay. RSI is also bottomed out for 4 or 5 days in a row at 30 on the RSI. There's an inevitability that happens when you hit 30 on the RSI on the one-day chart. There's a likelihood of it turning around, because you can only hold something down for so long. In other words, you can only hold, have you tried to hold a flotation device underneath the water? It's going to surface, right? It's just a matter of time, inevitability. Unless you have enough weight, consistent pressure, it's going to come back up. That's how trading is. You get something so close to a key level support, which is 30 on the RSI, that's typically the support level, then we can expect it to come back up eventually. So this could just be that natural reaction, but it could also be, more so the fact that, people are starting to believe that this isn't necessarily, a terrible project. It could still survive without that key developer in place, and we're probably going to be just fine. So I think big picture, Keeper will make a recovery just based on some of that sentiment alone, but let's look at the smaller time frames and identify if this transition is temporary or not. So we're under both SMAs, not fantastic. We're still under 50 on the RSI technically, so until we can kind of pass this point of $360, wait, is that 360? Sorry, I misspoke, 395. Let's say round number 400. If we can get back up over 400 and close above that on, just say preferably the one-day chart, then we'll have a much better chance of getting 50 on the RSI on the 4-hour to translate to a better time frame, or to a larger time frame. Because again, what happens in the 4-hour turns into the 1 day. So this is a nice little transition. And what's cool about this too is Bitcoin's doing, I would say, just generally terrible today. Or, at a nice increase, and it's tapering off. It's not doing well right now. It's under a key level resistance of 38.8. So Keeper is effectively increasing contrary to Bitcoin's misbehavior. Okay. So that's excellent news to see that happen, because of the fact that we need to, I'm not saying by any means that Keeper is going to be independent of Bitcoin, but I'm telling you that it's a great sign to see that independent nature in a coin like this. And we're so new into this little push that we could very well see about 7 to 10 more 4-hour candlesticks, effectively another 24 hours of continuation of the upside. Keeper is looking more likely to continue to increase than it is to decrease further from here. I think getting a foundation here of adding to your position between 3 to 400 wouldn't be a terrible idea. Again, just based on the technical stuff alone, and of course the simple fact that the fundamentals, there's a natural circular type of thing that's happened with other coins before as well, where somebody leaves and everyone sells and gets crazy, and then if the price comes right back up to where it started eventually, because people realize that, oh shoot, we shouldn't have pulled out in the first place, it's going to come right back up. So again, there's a chance of that. Okay, so just throwing it out there. It's not 100%. I haven't done any research on this, by the way, but again, I'm not truly invested on Keeper. At least I am from before, but I'm not really super worried about this not coming back. I think it will come back, and just generally speaking, it's looking pretty good here. I don't love this 1-hour candle though. I can tell you that. If you've seen my channel, you'll know that a significant amount of volume in a short amount of time is never, it doesn't really sustain super long, but the fact that we have this another push here with very little selling pressure is extremely important. Okay, so all good stuff here for Keeper in that sense. Minus, again, we have this natural correction based on that significant increase. TD sequential tells us we went up to what, an 8 and got a reset. Now we're back down to a 1. It's kind of messy in that sense. Again, very choppy because, again, Bitcoin actually had the similar behavior. It shot up pretty strong here today around 6 a.m. Pacific, sold off for about 4 hours, and then Keeper just decided it wanted to take off again. Okay, so again, not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but not great either. Okay, taking a look at TD, see, we already looked at TD sequential. We're looking at the cloud. We're back up above the cloud, and you can see it working as a support level. That's great. Conversion line is above the baseline still a little bit. And then, of course, we've got this guy here kind of hanging out. So truth be told, the cloud is giving us all three indications of keeping our position open. Just know we get this, sideways action from here. It'll probably tell us to close our position. Not telling you to do so per se, but just know that this is some very choppy trading behavior. As we've seen with Bitcoin as well, it makes sense, but I don't love it either. So again, big picture, I think that it's an inevitability for Keeper to come back. Will it be back up to 2,000 or 1,800? Probably not for a while. It's going to take a little while, but as you can see from before, it has this continuation of the downside, right? And that took what? That was from November to December. That's about a month of trading. Well, we've come down a lot harder here, of course, based on everything that's happened. But this is almost 2 months worth of trading, okay? So hypothetically, we should be able to see another increase and then another decrease, right? Because it's consistently making lower highs and lower lows on the 1 day, if you kind of consider that. Actually, technically not, because this did close below, so I don't know what I'm talking about when I say that. I'm just drawing lines on the chart. Okay, so disregard that last part, but ultimately, I do think there's a chance that we could see Keeper increase from here, but I wouldn't expect a parabolic increase of, anything over 1,000. We'll bridge that gap when we get there, but I think between now and then, getting above the moving averages would be an important thing, and they're still a ways away. So until we're back in the $700 range, there's really not much to really talk about. I hope that makes sense. I know I kind of spoke in circles here, but I just want you to be careful and cautious, but it also does look like the propensity of going higher is there versus coming down. I think we're more likely to see an increase than a decrease just in the immediate future. Again, pending Bitcoin doesn't lose its trend line. I have to throw that in there. Bitcoin loses its trend line, we close above 38.1 today, then we might have some trouble on the horizon for Bitcoin, because then we'd be effectively losing that ascending channel. That wouldn't be great. It wouldn't be terrible, but it wouldn't be great. And if we lose that, then Keeper may also lose its momentum here today. Okay, again, just something to throw out there. I hope you learned something here, of course. Thanks again for joining me. If you're not currently a community member, link in the description below, CryptoCache.tech. I look forward to working with you. You have yourself a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time.